Next up we have Triangle Energy and Robert Towner.
Good morning. I see many of you I've already met yesterday. That's okay, we'll do it all again. My name's Rob Towner, I'm the Managing Director of Triangle Energy. Triangle is an ASX-listed company focusing on conventional oil in the Perth Basin. We own 78.75% of the Cliffhead oil field. We are the operator of that field. We have a 30% interest in the recently discovered Xanadu prospect, which sits 12 kilometres to the south of our processing facility, and a 35% equity interest in State Gas, which is a conventional gas, has a conventional gas project in Queensland. Triangle currently has a market capitalisation of $18 million. We have attributable revenue of $22 million US from production at the Cliffhead field, and current cash is approximately $1.6 million. We have a small debt facility with our major shareholder of $2.2 million, which attracts it's at a cost of 10%, and that's repayable in June, but which we expect to roll over. And in the current environment, with oil price increases, we actually expect to have that paid back by the end of the year. It will be paid back by the end of the year. Current production's approximately 930 barrels of oil a day. We have production from 5 wells, and with 3 injection wells. Our board, myself, Darren Bromley, Ted Farrell, Jason Peacock and Wei Lid represent our major shareholder, Tamarind Resources. A bit of a snapshot on probably not just our share price performance, but also the milestones and achievements we've made. In mid-2017, we acquired the operatorship and control of the field from Rock Oil, leading into the later part of last year. We had 2 significant events in the discovery of the Xanadu oils to the south of us, and we listed State Gas, which was a 20-cent IPO and listed at 39 cents. It has retracted somewhat, but our investment in State Gas alone is worth, at the moment, $11 million. Looking forward, which is probably why we're really here, excuse me, we are currently doing a review and remodelling of our reserves at Cliffhead, and we will begin a 3D seismic program at Xanadu, with the results of those due on the remodelling in August and the seismic for Xanadu in December, which is all driven about literally building our reserve base due to the fact that we have the only onshore processing facility in the Perth Basin to process oil. This is the Cliffhead offshore unmanned platform, which is 12 kilometres off the coast of Western Australia. And on the bottom slide there is the Arrowsmith processing facility. This project was commissioned in 2006 at a cost of $327 million. The facility has the ability to process 15,000 barrels of oil, and currently we're only putting through $1,000. We see this as being very critical to the further development of the Perth Basin. We are the only significant producer of oil in the basin. The Perth Basin oil was first discovered in the 1950s, and we believe it's very much open for further enhancement through development. We have started the process of our reservoir remodelling. Initially, when Cliffhead was discovered, it was reported to have recoverable oil of 30 million barrels of oil. To date, it's produced 13 million barrels, and we're reporting reserves of 2.7 million. There seems to be a little bit of a misguidance in between time and assessments. So as we would, given our position, we will be have the review of that remodelling in August. These slides here, the one on the top left corner, you'll see in the green, that's the Cliffhead oil field. We pipe our crude from the field 12 kilometres to the processing facility at Arrowsmith, where we go through the separation process, and the crude's then trucked 350 kilometres to the south of us to the BP refinery. The water, the field's in 20 metres of water. On the right-hand slide there, you'll see the Xanadu prospect. We earned a 30% interest in that through the drilling of a well last year. But conceptually, you can see that it's the importance of our processing facility in that we can treat that oil, and it's the same distance onshore that we are currently moving oil from offshore. In terms of Cliffhead and our production profile, we're forecasting revenue of US $22 million for this current 12 months calendar year. We have a lifting cost of $30 per barrel. We reported our March quarterly report on Monday, and that was actually for the quarter $27 US. And our operating margin could be probably at least say 35, not accounting for the fact that we could probably put, going forward, hopefully, maybe a $65 to $68 receipt for our oil sales. In terms of the remodelling and some of the very simple reasons as to why we're doing it, the field was developed in 2004 and 2005. We have 5 extraction wells and 3 water injection wells. None of these have been re-entered in terms of further development. You'll see the bottom beigey pink, well, that's CH13, and you'll see it, and then this is going back 12 years ago, but that well was drilled with the existing abilities to directional drill that they had, but you'll see most of it, if not 75% of that well, is not even in the reservoir. This leads us to why we're doing the remodelling, in that at least, and assume that we do find oil behind pipe, that we can do sidetrack wells within existing infrastructure. That could mean recoveries and very early payback. This is not exploration, as you'll all know, but it's just field development. It is a mature field, but it's a very common model around the world to go back into it, and nothing has been done to date from the previous operators. Xanadu. Norwest Energy, another ASX-listed company, which is an explorer, they approached us early in 2017. This well was drilled onshore from the beach and directionally drilled offshore about for 1.2 kilometres. It was a target of 160 million barrels in terms of the size of the reservoir, with a 15% chance. It had very limited seismic in the sense of it was only 2D. In that sense, looking back, it was a wildcat, and we were successful in discovering oil. The importance of this is, of course, from Triangle's perspective, that any oil that we may produce from Xanadu will be processed through our facility. That basically reflects a toll treatment fee for the 70% that we don't own. The 3D seismic process is underway. We're just waiting on final regulatory approval to proceed. We'll do 40 kilometres of 3D seismic, and that will determine what the size of the potential reservoir is. So that will be completed by the end of the year. This just again on the left, the diagram demonstrates that we drilled the well from, it was an onshore rig, drilling offshore at a cost of $7 million, so Triangle's participation was $2 million. And on the right, the map there just demonstrates that we can obviously put a pipeline onshore straight to Arrowsmith, so it's not a big infrastructure requirement on the development of that field. And again, it's within the region, the same proximity that we currently move oil from Cliffhead offshore. Triangle has held for a number of years a conventional gas project in the southwest Bowen Basin. Reedstone was discovered in the early 50s. It's through different owners, not ever been fully developed. In Triangle's strategy of focusing on the Perth Basin, we made the decision to put that project into its own entity. State Gas listed in October last year. It currently has $4.3 million in the bank. We own 35% of that, which is escrowed for a further 18 months. So in closing, we have a producing asset. It's a mature asset that we intend to develop. We have a market capitalisation of $18 million. We know that that's extremely cheap to any of our peers. We actually don't have too many peers listed on the ASX of our calibre of production. That's just the way that the oil sector is, as we all know. We are operating now very much with profit, and with months going forward, we expect that that money will be demonstrated in our quarterly reports with cash in hand, which gives us the ability to participate in the development of Xanadu without needing major requirements of equity capital raising. And we have a very strong shareholder base, with the top 20 shareholders controlling or owning 65%. Thank you. I've enjoyed the conference to date, and I'll see you later. Thank you.